like he wants to run. Stays put, and there's a high fly ball, deep right field. Harper watches it fly.
By Hanley misses the target. Picking it up is Owen Tippett, turbocharge time. Tippett spins, backhander, he scores! Somehow, he just one-upped himself from the other night.
Franchise record of 68 points in a game. Chance at 70. Embiid, coast to coast for 70.
Final half minute of this third quarter. Eagles try to retake the lead. Hurts, complete, where the tackle is Brown, to the end zone, touchdown, Philadelphia. The 1-2 pitch. Hit toward third. Castro has it. Spins, fires. A perfect game. Roy Halladay has thrown the second perfect game in Philadelphia Phillies history. He faces 27 batters. He retires all 27.
In this building, start things off as the puck is deflected near the Pittsburgh dugout. Crosby is knocked to the ice with a hard hitter. And now Yager trying to play it ahead, but it's knocked away. Picked up here, though, by Giroux. Touchdown! Oh, Giroux! 32 seconds in. Iverson. Bothered by Lou. Iverson. Oh. How about that? Steps over Teron Lou.
What is going on, everybody? We're talking 2-5, and tonight we're talking a little home field advantage.
Let's go. How much does it matter? Can you put that into context for me, Jake?
Which one's better? Phillies, Eagles, Citizens Bank Park, the Linc. But before we get into all that, we got to thank Dewey Beer tonight, providing these delicious brews. We have El Toro.
There it is. It's going to happen every time, folks. And
Exactly.
I am drinking the Sun Camp. It's a beautiful West Coast IPA. 6%.
Delicious stuff. So really appreciate them. We're over at their restaurant today. Delicious food, crisp, delicious beer. So enjoying a lot of that. And we're going to be having Dr. Joseph Mesa on, I believe, in a little bit tonight to break down some injuries. Got to make sure I send him the invite, actually. Whoopsie.
Yeah.
But look, home field advantage, the big question is, what's a better fan experience? And in that, what's the better home field advantage? I mean, right off the bat, and I think Chris said it well, like it's tough to compare, but I think Citizens Bank Park, hands down, like it's a better fan experience. If you're asking what the better fan experience is, it's got to be CBP.
Yeah, and we'll touch on why I kind of agree with you there, but no, I think being at the Linc, home field advantage. It's cold. People won't want to come there as it is. We are animals at the Linc, and that is where it's at. There is so much pressure. The atmosphere is just so thick. Opposing teams coming in there, they don't even want to turn around and look at the scoreboard because hopefully we're winning. But they also don't want to see the fans because we're in their face.
Yeah, no, it's like obviously winning and playing at home. There's a reason why the NFL always gives the home team 3 points. It's a given thing and all. But I don't think there's really any extra points with the Linc. Like, obviously, our fans are great. Our team is great. Like, everything. When's the last time you saw an opposing quarterback or an opposing offensive line have a false start because it was too loud?
Well here's where I'm going to counter you on this, Jake. With the MLB going to the electronic thing in the pitcher's ear, that's very different. At the Linc, if you're third and long and we are screaming our asses off,
that's every single.
It's a lot harder.
Thing.
I can't hear you. I can't hear. I'm trying to block it out. You got the pitch call up and away, down, bottom, whatever you want to do. It's right in your earpiece. It's right there. And the bank does not get as loud as the Linc. There's no question.
No, yeah, like there's also double the amount of people at the Linc. No,
you're playing into my point.
That's every single NFL stadium is sold out. Every single NFL game is sold out. You got teams like the Oakland Athletics, soon to be the Las Vegas Athletics, who can't sell more than 6,000 tickets. Yeah, the fan experience at Citizens Bank Park and the home field advantage, at Citizens Bank Park is so much greater because you don't see sold out stadiums throughout all of the MLB. You see it in only select markets. And then you have players, even in the markets that are sold out,
let's
that are saying.
Let's take your example of Vegas. The people in
cut me
Vegas
off.
aren't going to the Raiders games because, oh, this is my passionate fan base. They've left them.
No,
in
it's
Oakland.
a vacation. No,
Exactly.
Las Vegas doesn't have a
they're
fan
not
base.
shouting. They're not foaming at the mouth like we are. It's not as loud as it is at the Linc.
Look, everybody knows when they listen to the show that there's always the time where we go to John and Bethany. Luckily, we've got John in studio tonight. John,
Welcome, John.
what are your
Thank
thoughts?
you so much for inviting me into this awesome radio show. And we're going to be discussing the topic on hand. But I think both of you are missing the main point here. It's not a question of where, between Citizens Bank Park or Lincoln Financial Field. It's a question of when. If you've been
Very true.
to
Very
a
true.
Phillies playoff game where every pitch
I've been to many the
matters,
past couple
where
seasons.
exactly, where every pitch matters, the booing, the cheering.
Strider.
Sorry, we
Strider.
just can't handle the heat of how
No,
loud it is.
we
He's
broke
gonna,
him.
He's going to find out during opening day. We all know
Oh,
that's
yes.
coming. But as far as the Linc goes, we already know it's off the hook, and we know that every team with the Flyers and Sixers here, the EAGLES Eagles chance.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But Citizens Bank Park during the playoffs has that magic. And it's loud.
Yeah.
And it's crazy at a baseball game
Mm-hmm.
where concentration's pivotal.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, look, Chris, I love you, man. He posted a comment for home field. Linc has better home field. The Bank better fan experience. I think the Bank has better home field and better experience. Like, and this is no disrespect to Birds fans. I mean, look, I bleed green and I love our fans. We're wild. You hear anybody talk about in the NFL, the Philadelphia is one of the hardest places to play.
Yeah,
You saw what? You saw players trying to get fans kicked out because they're yelling at them down behind their bench and everything. Like, it gets rowdy. It's not like a lot of other fan bases, but there are comparable fan bases in the NFL in these stadiums. And again, the Linc isn't built like what Arrowhead is built in a way that it keeps all the noise
It
in.
does.
You got Seattle. Their stadium is built in a way that it just gets crazy loud. The Linc is very
Jake,
open.
do you know how the
It's
the
not
Linc is
getting
built? It's built to contain animals, and us Eagles fans.
Okay, but it's
are
not built to- it's not built to be
goddamn
loud.
Animals.
It's not built to be. It
because
gets loud.
The vitriol is so
we
there.
make it loud. We make it.
For an open air, non-acoustic contained stadium, Sorrow Arrowhead. We are louder. We get rowdier. You don't want to come in to the Linc and play us.
No, well, but I also like it's the NFL again. They are used to this in almost every stadium. If you're playing a postseason game, these teams are good. So obviously their fans are passionate. So in every NFL game, and every single team is sold out. So they're used to playing in extremely loud, extremely hostile conditions.
Gentlemen,
So you get stuff like this.
Do you all think that we had a better advantage when the vet was around with the hard AstroTurf?
Yeah, I mean,
concrete, battery throwing,
Battery
bottles, glass bottles. People definitely didn't want to come into the vet to face.
They didn't, and that's the reason that they take if you order a Pepsi at the Linc right now, and they take the cap because they're worried that you're going to pee in it, recap it, and throw it on the stadium.
Well,
Throw it. You know, everyone thinks they're Jalen Hurts up in the stands, and I get that. But that's the energy that Eagles fans bring. It's different with baseball. I'm sticking with my point. The Linc is way more intimidating to come into.
I mean, you have heard commentators, you've heard pitchers, batters, fielders, everybody saying there is no stadium in Major League Baseball like Citizens Bank Park. When it gets rowdy, there is nothing even close to Citizens Bank Park, and it affects people because you're not used to that. I mean, literally, it picked up on what's the device that registers for earthquakes?
The seismograph.
Yes, a seismograph. It picked up that Bryce Harper home run. I was at that game.
I was at that game too.
Hey, shout out.
Hear his home run on in like
You can hear it. You can hear it
Philly.
over
And
3
then
miles
Bones
away.
right after that,
Yeah.
too. Both of them.
Yeah, he was tipping
registered.
pitches.
It was the Penn State
It was
seismograph.
nuts.
Yeah.
And I mean, look, I was in the 400 level. Love section 420, right behind home bait, the home plate. Little high, but you have a beautiful view of watching that ball just sail out of the park.
Mm-hmm.
That whole section was bouncing. I was worried about the structural integrity of that stadium. There was nothing like that. And I was at the Eagles 2017 divisional game against the Falcons. You were at that game too. Great game, very cold. And again, I get it. Very cold.
Freezing.
It's
I had to buy my
tough
wife
for
2
players. Like
blankets just to
you
get
had
through that.
Atlanta, who's used to playing the dome. Like I get it. It's tough. But it kind of also put a damper on the game because it was so cold.
But that's the other thing that we're talking about here. When Philadelphia is playing postseason football or later season football, you have these teams. The Lions are used to playing in a dome. You have the Falcons, warm weather. You have the Cowboys that are coming into town. That's a different kind of advantage. Because
I think it's also overblown. Like every team plays in the cold. Like when people are like, oh, that's Miami. Like they're coming up. They can't be used to this. No, they play half their season in cold games. Like
it all matters. If you take
not half, but they play cold weather.
If you take
games.
all things into consideration, I said it before. I'll say it again. I'm sticking to my point. The Linc has a better home field advantage
comparative to Citizens Bank Park in the postseason
in their respective sports.
I'm saying postseason. Both sports, not regular season. Regular season, obviously, because the dog days of summer, you're getting families heading down to the shore. Hey, yo, Deckhead, we heading down to Wildwood.
That weighs into this discussion here. If we're
No,
just
I'm
getting the
saying
casual
postseason.
fans of Citizens Bank Park.
Yeah, there's over 10 times the game.
It goes back to my original question.
Or just under.
When it can get rowdy. And when
Yeah.
it's commutative, you bring everything together. Who is or where is the most craziest place any time of the year? Like,
Yeah, any time of the year. Yeah, Linc out of comparative to the two, you go any game. The Linc's going to be more hostile. It's going to be crazier. You have 75,000 people.
We also
every
have
single
a
game.
Full week to build this pent up rage. I mean,
Yeah, you have a
time in
game.
between games is
Typically,
different,
you have
but-
a game every single day.
Citizens Bank Park, 45,000, correct?
Yeah,
Roughly.
Yeah,
roughly about 42,
Linc
42, 43.
57 plus standing room, so that's another
Only
3.
57?
Yeah,
Hmm.
it's like
My numbers
10th
are off.
largest. Quick shout out if you have any interest in going to a Phillies game. We're doing a lot of ticket giveaways. The first of which will be this upcoming Thursday at the Green Turtle in Wilmington off of Concord Pike. Please come join us in person.
Yeah.
Come to the game with us. I mean, we're
Give
in
the opportunity to get 2 tickets to Sunday's game. That is the 3rd game of the season, opening Sunday.
Yes, we are there. We hope to see you there. We're in G Lot. What time are we getting there?
We're getting there as soon as
4
possible.
a.m.? When are they going to let us in?
Usually I open them 5 hours before first pitch. First pitch is 1:30. Quick math, we'll be there about 9:30.
Yes. Come see us. Come see us at the Green Turtle. Win
8:30.
these tickets.
We might be
And
there at 8:30.
make sure you're plugged in because we're giving away 13 other
At
sets
minimum.
of two
Yeah,
tickets-
minimum
two
we're
tickets.
giving away. Like I said, we bought an entire extra Sunday ticket package exclusively to give away to you, the fans. And so minimum we're giving away tickets to every Sunday game. And a lot of times we come into a couple extra tickets every year that we try to give away. And then we have the postseason because we have this ticket package that we're going to be utilizing to give away
That's
tickets to the
big.
postseason.
Postseason tickets are
Oh
big.
yeah, I mean
We're going to be at every one.
Yeah, I mean, I buy every possible ticket I can, and then when you try to go to an extra game, it's minimum like just standing room. You're looking at $300 a ticket.
Yeah, my
So we're gonna
my
be
credit
giving-
score hurts thinking about this, but I am going to be there.
Exactly. No, and you can too. First games, they're not all going to be given away at the Green Turtle, but we're going to be there on Thursday, March 28th, doing a Game 1 post-game show, and part of that is we're going to be giving away tickets, free giveaway at the Green Turtle. So be sure to come on over there. Probably around 6:30.
6:30.
We're guessing it's probably
is our
going to be
start
about a
time.
3-hour game.
Yeah.
So we're going to be starting between 6 and 6:30.
We will
hope to
be
see
there
you
early if you want to come.
Yeah,
hang
we'll be
out
there
with us
watching the
and
game, but hope to see
Get
you
a
there.
beer, but yeah.
No, I mean, look, we're going to have to agree to disagree, but I really don't think it's that big of a question. I mean, if you're looking, again, especially if you're just saying postseason, if you're looking at both of these just in the postseason, it's clear and obvious that Citizens Bank Park is the better home field advantage. And then our big question, what's the better fan experience? Hands down, it's Citizens Bank Park. But again, that's because it's completely different sport. Like to Chris's point, completely different sport, completely different atmosphere. You're talking about a 3-hour baseball game where you have time to walk around the concourse. You got the Fanatic, you got Ashburn Alley, you've got all kinds of different games, activities. You don't have double B, double D,
Hey,
folks.
We're bringing it back.
Double B, double D. You saw our shirts last
There's
week.
a hashtag. They will be added. Actually,
They
to
are
the
next
website.
week going to be added to tackleup.net.
TackleUp.net.
Promo code Talking215, get 15% off your purchase. You get a couple of those double B, double D shirts, free shipping, 15% off, and you will be wearing the official shirt of Sunday day games.
And what do we put your over under for dogs that you can sneak in this season? 33 and a half?
I don't know if it was that high.
It was 33 and a half. Everybody check the clips.
I mean, I'm going to be sneaking in a lot of pocket dogs.
Out of it.
I'm going to be sneaking in pocket dogs all day long.
Lots of pocket dogs.
Why not?
We did it the Flyers.
We got to figure it out, whether it's saran wrap, whether we're doing parchment paper.
Like for science,
because I don't think you can get foil. I'm not 100%, but I don't think we'll be able to sneak the foil into the stadium.
Yeah.
John, have you had the pleasure of going to both Phillies and Eagles?
Absolutely. And I will tell you this, the food, we didn't speak about food at Citizens Bank Park.
Ooh, that's a big one.
Linc, you're talking about fan experience and you're talking about the food on Ashburn Alley or at the Linc, it totally eclipses the Wells Fargo Center. And I will say this, the Phillies have the barbecue joints, the cheesesteaks, the helmet
ice cream, baby. Helmet Sundays.
Ice cream has never tasted so good.
Oh, it's better out of a helmet.
Out of a mini stretch. You got King Kong on the jumbotron. We will rock you with the booming.
Oh yeah.
And I'm telling you, Citizens Bank Park has the jack of all trades, family friendly. Bring the kids. Lincoln Financial Field it's a grown man's game.
Yeah.
Go in there on the right day or the wrong day for some opposing fans. You will experience hate.
Yeah, but also, we got a buddy. Obviously, I mean, we're 16 minutes in. Nobody said happy birthday to me in the chats or here.
Everyone, it is Jake's birthday. Please spam chat with happy birthday, Jake, so he stops bugging me about it.
Exactly.
I've only heard it all day.
All right, well, it's been my birthday all day.
Yeah.
So we got Kenny coming down to celebrate this weekend. He's a big Bills fan. Loves every other Philly team, but for whatever reason, he's a big Bills fan. And he went to his first football NFL game this year, and it was the Eagles-Bills game at the Linc. And I told him what to experience. I said, hey, man, look, you're going to get a lot of people flipping you off, a lot of, hey, fuck you. Like, you get that, but it's going to be with a smile on their face. As long as you're not sitting there, like, walking into tailgates, like, hey, we're beating your ass tonight. Eagles stink. Like, as long as you're just, like, keeping a low profile, not even a low profile, just not causing a scene, they're going to yell at you, flip you off, and then they're going to be like, all right, come on, let's come over, have a beer. Come shotgun a beer with us.
Unless you're an ass. And
exactly.
You're going to ask for it.
And that's exactly what he said happened. He said, yeah, you know what? Every single person, they're flipping me off. They're, dropping F-bombs. And then they're like, all right, come drink a beer with us.
Yeah,
Philly,
all right,
Bills Mafia, y'all are wild. And
they're going to end up like before the game of that playoff.
Oh,
game.
yeah, when
you're going to have some issues. When you're combative towards Eagles fans, you're adding gasoline to the fire.
Exactly.
And we all know that.
And you don't want to roll them dice.
No.
I mean, you might get us on a good day. You might get us on a bad day. You might get us 2 beers.
But I will say we're not
like
bad rap. We're not killing people.
No.
You had guys dying at Patriots games this year.
2 people this year.
You got people dying at Dodgers games every year. Like the Philadelphia gets such a ridiculous rap.
We're just gonna dump our tailgate trash onto the on your car, and it's okay.
You know what you should do? You know what you should do if somebody does that?
Huh.
Head on over to White Glove.
Hey,
shout out White Glove. Head on over there. Best wash.
Best car wash in Northern Delaware.
Northern Delaware, Southern Jersey, PA. Best wash.
Yeah.
They can now offer unlimited. Now offer unlimited plans for starting as low as $20 a month.
$20
you can get
a month
unlimited car washes.
Car washes,
yeah,
Jake. Is that a real deal?
I don't know if it's
that is
family owned and operated over 40 years. Locations in Delaware, PA, New Jersey. You are never too far from the glove. Just ask your phone. Take me to White Glove Car Wash.
So at this point, we're talking about home field advantage and quantifiable. I know how you feel about this. I'm pretty sure I know how John feels about this. Kyle Schwarber, leadoff hitter. You want me to start? You want to tear me a new one and let me
look. The main question isn't should Kyle Schwarber be the leadoff hitter, because he is the leadoff hitter. The main question is how long of a leash does he have?
Infinite.
How long is a leash?
Because that is part of Citizens Bank Park. We are not the Diamondbacks. We're not the Texas Rangers sitting here playing, little next man up ball. We're not that team. We go nuts.
And guess what?
Blast the Schwarber bomb.
What have we done the past 2 years? Don't tell me, we won the NL. Great. I don't give a shit. The teams that are the next man up teams are the teams that win. The teams that get the next guy up. I'm not talking
about changing the entire culture of the Phillies here.
No, you just said we're not the next guy up. Yeah, we're not, and we need to be.
That's fine. Bring us into the
Kyle
bank.
Schwarber is the leadoff hitter. Kyle Schwarber is the leadoff hitter. My question is, how long of a leash does he have? And I don't think it should be infinite. There is no reason when you have, I can name 4 players right now that are better fit to be leadoff batters. But look, we'll start the season with it. If he like his first at bat as a Philly, if he leads off with a home run, I'm gonna be sitting here like, I told you, Kyle Schwarber, best leadoff hitter. I'll be just lying right to your face saying that I loved it.
Fine, I'll refine my statement. He is a 1-season leash. If he hits,
he's been leadoff all last
if
season.
he hits less than 40 home runs this year, he cannot be our home.
You ready? You ready? What's better, one run or 3 runs?
Well, that's
what's better, 1 run or 3 runs?
That's not a fair question because that's not
what's
what
better,
Kyle
John.
Schwarber is
John,
giving
what's better,
us.
1 run
that's
or 3
runs?
runs?
Not what Kyle Schwarber is giving.
I'm not asking about. Who said anything about Kyle Schwarber?
Quantitatively, we know that 3 runs is better.
Oh, okay. So can you hit a 3-run home run when you're the first guy up? Is that possible?
Well, here's the thing, guys.
Yeah, at the bank.
Since he changed the rule that designated hitters and pitchers do not hit anymore.
Well, the designated hitters only hit.
It's kind of changed the game.
I wish we could have a designated.
But here's
fielder.
the thing, guys. If I may chime in with this whole debate, I'm a big Charlie Manuel guy. I love the success of that run. It could have been the big red machine. Charlie Manuel's school of thought was if you have speed up front, which we did. We had Victorino, Rollins, Utley.
That's a good point.
Back it right in front of the big piece where you could slam them home. And let me tell you, can you imagine how many ribbies that Schwarber could have with Turner, Stott, Harper right in front of him? Harper's protecting the short bomb. Behind him, we could have with Castellanos in the cleanup. And then we have short board behind him. And we have Ball behind him. It mixes it up a little bit. Let's see how many ribbies he could get.
Yeah, I mean, like
those homers.
All you've heard, all that you know in baseball is your power hitter hits 4th. Like that's just the rule of baseball. I get it. I get it. Things change. You can't sit there. You have to adapt to the game. I get it.
We set off Richter detectors here for home runs. That's what it's about. It's the electricity of it.
Yeah, but look, you see what happened. You saw what happens when teams get so locked in, so tunnel vision on, I need to hit a home run. You saw that in the Arizona Diamondback series.
Yeah.
They said it themselves. They weren't throwing us anything. We were too dead set on getting back to the home run pace. I mean, they were on almost record pace for home runs hit in the divisional series and then the championship series.
Jake, that's a great point. When you go into the playoffs and you're going against these ace pitchers, everyone's usually an ace. They're going to come at you. They're going to come at your leadoff guy throwing heat. They're going to come at you throwing nasty stuff. I don't want them to plan around Schwarber being at the top of the lineup due to the fact that he's going to be unprotected in that lineup. He is the guy. If he strikes out, which he almost led the league in strikeouts, it's going to cost us. And the Billy Bean in Moneyball said, what is the most important attribute in sport, in baseball?
Getting on base.
On base.
Yeah,
absolutely.
he walks. I get it. But I mean, what's better, a walk or a hit? I'd argue a hit every single time. A hit has the opportunity.
A single or a walk. I mean, it's a push.
No.
On base is on base.
A single has the opportunity for an error to be had. A single has an opportunity to do so many different things. And if for some reason somebody else is on base, I get it. I'm not talking exclusively now the leadoff position, but a single is infinitely better than a walk.
It's not.
But
because
specifically,
a walk is at least 4 pitches. That's 4 pitches on a pitcher's arm right there.
Okay.
Well,
if you get a leadoff first pitch hit.
Yeah, and okay. All right, so you want to play that? Okay, then why isn't Bryson Stott your leadoff hitter? When Bryson Stott is top 20 in pitches seen in at bats, when Bryson Stott is top 5 in hits
that's
with
not
2 strikes.
Philadelphia baseball.
Okay, Philadelphia baseball isn't winning baseball. We have 2 World Series. We're the losingest franchise in all of professional sports. I don't give a shit about Philadelphia baseball. Clearly, Philadelphia baseball is not the kind of baseball that you want to be playing.
The answer of consensus here overwhelmingly should be he should have a leash. Whether it be half the season or sooner than that, he needs to have a leash because currently in spring training, he is striking out a lot. And I know it's spring training, the guy will be bagging groceries next week. I get that, like in Major League. However, we've got to give the guy a leash if it's not working. We've got the leadoff guys now that can get on base, and we got some power up in that top of that line, just like we did during our runs with Victorino and Rollins, who could also hit home runs. So that is my school of thought, and I think you can't let a guy have carte blanche up there striking out. If he goes into a slump, the Phillies go into a slump.
True,
he's number one.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
No, I think what I would like to see and what's actually going to happen, it's probably similar here. Like I love the Schwarber leading off. That's my thing. But they're going to give him a longer leash than we want. Just the same as they gave Rojas a little bit longer leash with his batting.
Philadelphia.
It's
Rob Thompson is too much of a player's coach.
It's going to happen. And Philly isn't going to be changing their play style.
Rob Thompson is too much of a player's coach. I like Rob Thompson. You can put the bunny ears, you can do whatever you want. I like Rob Thompson. I think he's a fine manager. I think he has flaws just like each and every one of us. He is too much of a player's coach, and he possibly cost us that series. The bats are obviously the main factor, and that's not 100% on him. That's a lot on Kyle Long and the players themselves. But the whole putting Craig Kimbrell back out there, the whole putting Orion Kerkering back out there in another high leverage situation, the whole not taking Johan Rojas out because he put his arm around him and, hey, champ, you're my guy. Like, that's like the Simpsons. Will you ruffle my hair, Tom Hanks? Like, it's just like, get over it. Like, I don't give a shit who's confident, who's not. I care about wins. When people were getting on me last season, when the Phillies were struggling and they were gatekeeping, saying, oh, you need to calm down. We were in the World Series last year. You don't know. We just witnessed an 11-year postseason drought, and we ended that drought by how many games? 1 game. We limped in the very last game of the season, and we got hot. And the fans were acting like we won the National League East by 15 games. You're not allowed to be upset about them. No, I just witnessed a drought. We barely made it into the playoffs, and I don't want to see another one. So when I'm sitting here saying I demand greatness, I demand your effort every single game. You got clowns like Glenn Rivers saying scheduled loss in a season that's half as long as baseball. I want their maximum effort 162 games. You'll see on Talking 2 and 5 Twitter us complaining whenever they take Bryson Stott out of the lineup when a lefty pitcher is up again. Yeah. When Bryson Stott has reverse splits, he hits better against left-handed pitchers than he does against right. But Rob Thompson has that mindset of the old school mindset. Oh, righties hit lefties, lefties hit righties, so on and so forth. I am sick of it. I demand greatness. And if you don't, you're not a true Philadelphia fan. You're just a bandwagon gatekeeper.
Jake, you just proved my point right then and there. You said righty, lefty, right, lefty. Well, guess what? You got to protect these guys in the lineup. If they go against a power pitcher like a Stetcher Strider, they're going to be going up against a guy that's going to go right after the opposite hitters. So you've got to protect these hitters in the lineup. And Schwarber being at the top, it's like he's standing on the tip of a mountain.
You know what? Nothing frustrates
and land properly. It's going to cost everybody.
Yeah, nothing frustrates you more than just a 3-pitch pop up to second base to start a game, and then you have the next couple of guys get a little something going. You're like, man, imagine if we had one less out right now. And then you got JT Realmuto, who, look, hoping this is a different season. My argument is, why not have him lead off? He is the best nobody on base hitter in baseball. If there's anybody on base, bottom 3 hitter in all of baseball. If you got nobody on base,
hey, I'm a big JT fan.
He ropes that ball. There's a reason. There was a point in time in this last season where it's 2/3 through the season, and you had Alec Bohm, who had 40 more RBIs than JT Realmuto with 30 less extra base hits. Well,
what does that tell you?
It tells you that he's a clutch hitter. I mean, he was a 330 plus hitter with runners in scoring position.
Clutch hitter, do you think he should be at the bottom?
No, he should be in the middle. Yeah, he should be in the middle. I think Alec Bohm is a 3, 5, or 6 batter. But look, we've got a lot of questions around Philadelphia. We got a lot of questions. I have a question right off the bat about some of our pitchers. And what better person to go to with questions than a doctor? We have our friend, Dr. Joseph Mesa, from our friends over at Delaware Orthopedic Specialists. You see their logo in the top corner. You see the handsome face right in front of you. Doc,
hey, Doc, how you doing tonight?
How are we doing tonight?
I'm good. How are you guys? Looks like you're having fun over there.
Oh, yeah, having a great time. Shout out Dewey Beer. Look, everybody, spam them in the comments. Flood their Instagram, whatever social media, find them, follow them. Love it. But, yeah, little birthday beer, and nobody I'd rather be talking to on this wonderful day than you, Doc.
Well, happy birthday.
Well, thank you. Thank you. And I apologize if anybody's seeing any kind of delay. It looks like, at least on our end, there's a very noticeable video audio delay. So I apologize if that's reflect on anybody.
The wind is whipping. Yeah, Wi-Fi might not be the best. So.
Very spotty weather down here in Bethany. But, Doc, we're talking Phillies right now, and I've got a question I've been dying to ask you.
It's a big one.
Orion Kerkering has been out of action with what they're saying. It's been now 21 days with what they're saying, the flu. I think there's some undisclosed injury, and they're just using this to cover it up. But let's go ahead and just assume that they're not lying to us, and he's missing this time with the flu, and he's now missed 21 games out of practice, out of games. Let's say he's healthy tomorrow. How long of a time is it going to take for him to get back not only into game shape? Because you're in the flu, you're losing weight, you're losing muscle, you're losing everything. How long of a delay are we going to be seeing from Orion Kirkering before he's going to be throwing any kind of high leverage pitches?
Well, I think it's going to be a while. Like you said, the flu knocks you out, and it takes a while to get back just to, living mode, let alone performing mode. And I think it's going to take a lot of attention from the training staff, a lot of attention to detail in terms of hydration and getting his stamina back, even building muscle back. I mean, I would say realistically, it's probably going to take him at least a couple weeks to get to where he needs to be.
Yeah, I mean, I set the over-under on our pre-recorded episode last night. I set the over-under on May 15th. I said, will it be before or after May 15th?
I think most
that
of
we
us
see
took the over
Orion
there,
Kirkering
too.
pitching in a Phillies uniform, not AAA, not a rehab stint, like back up with the major league team. And 3 out of the 4 of us took the over on that.
Yeah, I mean, that's realistic because not only do you have to pitch well. So, and I think, they have the luxury of having a pitch below the major league level. And I think that's a realistic over-under. And I probably would go over too.
Yeah. And it's just like every year we got these things where it's like they're downplaying. I mean, Rangers forearm injury in World Baseball Classic. Oh, it's a day-to-day thing. He missed over a month. You got this Orion Kirkering where it's nobody's talking about it. They're just like, yeah, he's still struggling with the flu. I'm like, it's been 3 weeks. He's still got the flu. Like, is the guy dead?
Or the prevailing theory here is he might not have the flu.
Yeah, he has some undisclosed injury that they're trying to cover up with the whole flu.
It's like another Miguel Alfredo Gonzalez case we've got here. I mean, Mag, if you remember him.
It's a little ridiculous and everything. And then also in baseball, Brandon Marsh back in action. We talked a little bit about this a couple weeks ago with the loose bodies in the knee and everything. Yeah. With him back in action, obviously he had a triple last night, so obviously his legs are working. That's something that, if they cleared it appropriately and they figure out whatever was causing loose bodies, it shouldn't be something that he's routinely getting a cleanup, correct?
No, I don't think so. I think it's sometimes they just build it up, and then I think when it forms, mechanical issues, they clean it out. And I think he's probably good to go. It's like getting a tune-up for your car. He's probably got a lot of miles left before he has another injury along those lines.
Exactly. And then obviously everybody that listens to you knows this 100% because, Dr. Mesa has never been wrong. But your timeline for Joel Embiid has been pretty much to a T every step of the way. Joel returned to practice earlier this week. They're now reporting about a 2 to 3 week practice ramp up before him back to game action. Is there anything that we really need to keep a close eye on? Is there a real serious re-injury risk, or is this 2 to 3 weeks strictly just get him back in conditioning shape? His knee's already good at this point. We just are getting him back into being able to play 30 plus minutes.
Yeah, now it's about conditioning. I think that, you think of what the injury was, and you can never completely insulate yourself from a recurrence. But what you're really trying to do now is just to get his stamina up, his endurance up. I think they're also looking at the schedule saying, okay, how is our schedule coming forward? Do we have back-to-back games? I mean, how can we manage him with the remainder of the regular season? I probably think he's going to come back in the next week or two, maybe against his old friend, James Harden, when they come to town. That may be that's what I'm looking at, but it may be a little bit later. But I think around that time frame is what you're looking at, and probably controlled minutes, obviously. But I think they want to get him some live game performance before the playoffs.
Yeah, no, but I think you said it right there, and that's the best news because I was very nervous about it. Is that it's most likely more of a conditioning thing than a real injury thing. Like the injury should be back, which is like the main thing is like everybody's like, oh, like is it really going to be forcing? No, it's more of just hey, he's 7'2", he's 280 pounds. He's probably put on a little bit of fat and lost a little bit of muscle, much like all of us would who aren't professional athletes. Let's get him back into game shape. So that's all great news.
And Doc, I got one for you. So Eagles off season's going on. We saw Darius Slay got his surgery before and came back, but he delayed it. And we talked about this on a previous episode with you where there's athletes that delay things, and then you get into the offseason, you have that conversation of, should I get this? Should I wait? Should I just go to therapy? Or the doctors at these facilities are top notch. At DOS obviously does a lot of surgeries for professional athletes in the Philly area. What do you project? So something like, if somebody has a minor back injury, obviously they're not going to go get surgery. But if someone's got a little bit of knee swelling or something like that, we have a couple of months. Do you project any of these Eagles players getting a procedure done and using this time to rehab?
It's long-winded.
No, but absolutely, I agree with what you're saying. I think a lot of them, it depends on the injury. If it's something that's nagging, I mean, I look at it, these injuries, particularly in the knee, is what are their symptoms? If their symptoms, soreness or pain, that's one thing. But if they're having mechanical issues, if their knee's swelling, if it's locking on them, if there's any signs that the knee's not working the way it should, then I would press to get it done regardless of time. And I think now you have the luxury of getting a knee scope. So if Joel Embiid had his knee scope at this point, he would have been ready for the regular season. And I think a lot of these athletes kind of weigh their time. I mean, timing's important. But I think that now's the time, if they had something that was really bugging him, to get it done. I think a lot of NFL players, the day after their season ends, there's 4 or 5 players looking to have their surgeries done. So they try to drag it out. But when you're here, it's better to kind of get it taken care of, because it's a long season and it's getting longer every year. And I think these injuries, you can't, no pun intended, but you can't run away from some of these injuries. I mean, they affect your performance, especially when you're playing at a high level. And I think a lot of them would rather miss some time and come back at closer to 100% than be playing the entire season at 80% or worse. So I think if there's a chance, they're going to kind of correct the issues while they can.
Yeah.
Great. Doc, this is John from Bethany. I'm co-hosting tonight with the gang. Real quick question: Flyers injuries. Okay, Jamie Drysdale re-injured a shoulder that he missed all of, I believe, 2022 season. With shoulder injuries, we know that it's a small joint, small area for blood flow to get in there to heal like a shoulder injury, depending on if it's a labrum. You see, in NHL, they always say it's like an upper body injury or something like that. But with your experience with shoulder injuries, does he have a chance of maybe coming back and playing this year with his previous injuries to his same shoulder he missed?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of that depends on what it is. I mean, NHL is very notorious for being vague about the nature of the injuries. Shoulder injuries can be complicated. If there is a labral injury, a lot of times it can be bad enough that they can't perform. As to the aforementioned conversation, some people have an injury like, say, a shoulder subluxation or a dislocation and try to play through the season, and we see that a lot in the NFL and even like other sports. So it depends on the nature of what he had. I mean, I think that a lot of times if it's some sort of soreness and stuff, you could see a return for him. But if it's something structural and, that's looking at potentially a longer rehab or even a surgery to correct the issue. So I think more details need to be brought to light about what the nature of the injury is.
They've been very, very, very coy. They haven't disclosed anything that we should know about these injuries. But
yeah, I mean,
What half does it affect you on?
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's the problem. And I think you see these injuries and you're like, well, what is it that they lose a whole season for, and I think it's really determining what's happening. If someone's had a surgery or an injury to the shoulder before, it may just be irritation or something that can rest. I think if it was something serious, I know they're kind of vague, but I think they would say, well, look, season's over, especially at this point in the season. But I don't think they've said he's not returning as of yet. So I think that's a good sign.
This is February 2nd, I believe.
Yeah, he's missed that was my big thing with him. My hot take this season, or just for him in general, was I was like, look, if Jamie Drysdale is healthy, he's a better Shane Gostisbehere. I mean, he's a more offensive and a better defensive defenseman. Yeah. Yep. But his biggest thing was, I mean, he was a high value prospect, but he can't stay healthy. That's his biggest thing. And
it's like Vontae Maddox.
Yeah. Yeah. Vontae Maddox, before he started getting these injuries, we said on this podcast, he was the best slot corner in the NFL. And now obviously he's still jobless and, still leaves the door open for him to return to Philadelphia. John, you had another Flyers one?
Yeah. One more is Rasmus Ristolainen, and he's been out a long time on long-term IR. We don't know what he has, but they said it's a lower body injury, if I'm not mistaken. But having a guy out that long, I mean, more than 60 days, you're probably counting him out for the rest of the season at this point.
Yeah, just for conditioning sense as well.
Absolutely.
He's a big guy and he's a bruiser. So my opinion is we're not going to see him again. I think that, they don't disclose, so we don't have any idea. But when you're off for that long, just like you said, the conditioning alone to get into playoff mode. I mean, right now, it's basically every game's a pseudo playoff game for the Flyers. And you don't want to take the chance of having somebody that's not 100% out on the ice. Torts won't put him on the ice, So no. I don't think he's playing.
The last one from me. Biggest or one of the biggest free agent signings this year for the Eagles is obviously Saquon Barkley. And everybody knows the extensive injury history he has. He's obviously much how life works. And as I know, because today's my birthday, he's another year older. Oh, you didn't know that?
I didn't know that.
Wow.
Okay, continue your question.
He's another year older. It's another year, on top of the injuries. Is there any real thing behind it that I'm trying to think of the best way to word it? Like, what kind of danger does he face with his injury history, with him being another year older? Or is it, look, we've got a great O-line. He's got just as good of a chance as any other player in the NFL to have an injury-free, productive season?
I think a lot of it has to do with how they scheme him and how they use him. I mean, you're right. The offensive line is light years ahead of
me that we're giving $12 million a year for a player that we talked about on our show last night. It's like, yeah, we think Saquon's great. And I mean, Joey and I, Coach and I, shout out Coach, said that he's probably, if healthy, a 2,000 all-purpose yard player, hands down. It might reach that by game 16. But we're like, yeah, but we really think he's going to get more than 10 carries in the game.
And, Doc, you know as well as I do, you can't use him like a Jordan Howard or Garrett Blount, like a bruiser. Mm-hmm. You can't use him as a road grader like a Brandon Jacobs. So what is your alternative? Use him like a Westbrook. Use him as a flanker. Use him as a LaShawn McCoy type.
Hopefully utilize him in the passing game.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I agree. I think that's all it depends on. I mean, you're right. Every time you have these injuries, they're cumulative. They add up. I mean, the perfect example is Christian McCaffrey. He was hurt every year with the Panthers, goes to San Francisco, and he's had 2 relatively healthy seasons. I mean, he was hurt 2 years ago for a little bit. And I think some things are unavoidable, like hamstring pulls and things like that. But, I mean, I think if they use him wisely and, economically, he can be very successful. I mean, I'm actually excited at the chance to watch him behind this line and with these receivers and with
ridiculous rookie season, over 2,000 all-purpose, 15 touchdowns, and I still think his potential was held back drastically being on the Giants. I mean, he has the opportunity to really reach his full potential on this Eagles team.
Their O-line has been in decline for years.
Their O-line was second worst in the NFL in run block win rate. Eagles last year, second best.
2 different coaches, 3 different head coaches. His career.
No, it was insane. So I'm excited. I think the potential for him to reach his potential is at the highest it's been for his entire career. He's still got a lot in the tank. I mean, look, one of the positives about these injuries is less tread on these tires. I mean, obviously it's an injury. So you have that injury risk. You have the injury history to it.
But he's not burning for 1,600 yards and 400 hits every season.
These hits are cumulative.
Yeah.
Cumulative.
You know as well as I do that when a guy can squat almost as much as Jalen Hurts. I mean, Barkley is a workout fiend. The guy has tremendous muscle tone in his legs. That always helps with injury prevention and also injury recovery, correct?
It can, yeah. I mean, I think some of these guys, they work their muscles so much that they're prone to like hamstring injuries and stuff just because they build up so much. But you're right. In terms of recovery, it's definitely helpful. And I think if nothing else, this will be a good case study is how valuable is a top tier running back to a system. And then you can see you've got one of the best ones in recent history. If he can be uber successful, then the value of a running back. If he doesn't do much more than a Miles Sanders, then you say, hey, maybe that's not a value position. We should put our money in. But I think it's well worth the investment to find out.
Not my money.
And then, Doc, let me ask you, we talked about this a month or two ago. The first base coach wearing the Tommy John's arm brace, Bryce Harper. You think that's happening this year? Do you think he's healthy? You think he's good to go? Doesn't need it? It might be just in case.
He's healthy. He's good to go. It's just more of a, is he going to continue to wear that brace?
Yeah.
Here's the thing I've seen with a lot of athletes. I think there's a huge mental component to these injuries. I see it a lot with ACLs. And I used to, when I was a young buck, I'd say, hey, you know, you're 6 months, you're recovered, or a year, whatever. You don't need the brace. But what I found out is a lot of them do. I think it's a mental thing. I think it's also when you're getting back to playing a position, your body has to relearn its position in space. The proprioceptive cells, or the position cells in the arm, have to relocate it. So I think a lot of it is sort of a mental as well as a physical crutch. I tell my patients that it's like training wheels. You have to get back up to speed. So you use them. And a lot of athletes say, you know what? I'm good. I wear it for a season. I don't wear it anymore. His doctor may tell him, Bryce, you got to wear it one season and then you're done with it. So it could be his own personal choice, but I look at it as, if it truly inhibits him from playing the way he thinks he can play, he'll take it off. I don't think he needs it physically. I think it definitely helps him mentally. So I don't think it's absolute must to wear. I mean, you see guys like J.J. Watts and Gronkowski, they had braces on for years. They always wore the brace.
Tom Brady.
Pretty much the rest of their career.
Yeah, and I think there's a mental component to that.
A little bit more physical in the NFL.
No, I agree. But I'm just saying that I think in the beginning, and I honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if he wore it all season, and I also wouldn't be surprised if it disappeared in mid-season.
Yeah, I mean, we're also talking about a guy that ate a 96-mile-per-hour fastball that came back like 2 weeks later and finished as the MVP of the season.
Yeah, then his first play back was
he dives into the camera.
And I'm like, please stay on the field. We pay you so much money. Like, this is giving me anxiety.
Well, you remember that slip he did, Bryce, going into first base? Or no, the guy his glove.
Yeah. Oh, I was at that game.
He ran out and he winced.
And he went into the locker room.
I said, it's over. He came back. He's such a tough guy.
Oh, yeah. No,
athlete.
I sat at that game. I brought my camera, and I had my extended lens, and I didn't care about the game. All I had, it was zoomed in at the dugout, waiting to see a number 3. I was like, waiting for him to come out. I was like, is he coming out? You know, all right, he's out. Does he have his glove? Does he have his hat? Or is he sitting there with a jacket on? I was like, all right, he's got his glove. Okay, he's got it. All right, he's good. I was live tweeting. I was like, folks, Bryce Harper has emerged.
Absolutely amazing. He came back.
Well, I think a lot of times when you see these injuries live or on, they look way worse than they actually are.
You think that they're the career enders.
Yeah, and the converse is true too. You see things that don't look so bad, and they're like, well, why isn't he back out? I mean, it all depends on how you hit. I mean, some of the worst injuries, like Bryce had one where he hyperextended his knee. Joel had the same thing. Everybody's like, oh, Joel's done, but it was just a bone bruise. I mean, I think you just have to give it a minute and see how they react and how they walk around. So some things look far worse than they are.
Yeah. Well, and these professional athletes' bodies are very different than ours. I mean, me at 32 years old, it's gonna take me a year and a half to recover.
Look, this tackle up shirt certainly is slimming. I'll tell you.
Yeah, I mean, I could sprain my pinky in I'm getting workman's comp for like probably 6 months. You know, and these guys, they're back in a week and a half.
You have players saying cut the finger off.
Yeah,
to continue playing.
Not so much anymore, but and I think also
top-of-line medical team in there.
Yeah, you got
best therapy equipment. I mean, biohacking, ice baths. I mean, they've got all kind of good stuff.
Oh yeah. Then you got Delaware orthopedic specialists out there.
Yeah,
we got it too.
Get injured ever again?
True.
Damn straight.
Yeah,
Doc, really appreciate your time. Real quick, I want to ask you the main topic that we're talking about tonight. Better home field advantage and separate question, better fan experience. Citizens Bank Park or Lincoln Financial Field. So Phillies, Eagles, Citizens Bank, the Linc. Better home field advantage and better fan experience. I think the answer is easy for both.
Yeah, I think so. What was it? Home field advantage was the first one?
Better home field advantage, Citizens Bank Park or the Linc?
I would say the Linc. Better home field
advantage. The Linc!
Yes,
the Linc.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? Every single NFL game sold out. It's not like it's a foreign thing to these players.
It's not who's there. It's not how many. It's who is there. Yeah.
Look, I mean, you're
not that.
If Dr. Mesa's there, I get it. That's that's 2 points on the line right there.
All right.
No, it's
So the second one was what?
better fan experience.
Well, that would be Citizens Bank Park. I mean, going to the whole amenities.
Consolation prize.
Yeah.
That one's like the stupid question. That's such a little throw in.
Hey, Jake, happy
That's a
birthday. You were wrong, you stupid turd.
Are you bringing your 10-year-old to the Linc at 7:30
Yes.
for a playoff game?
Yes.
Are they going crazy?
Yes.
700 level?
They gotta learn.
Put it this way.
Yeah.
All right, put it this way.
Let the boy watch.
Would
He
you
must learn.
would you rather walk through the parking lot wearing an opponent's jersey at Citizens Bank or at the Link?
Okay.
Answer that, because that's what you're talking about.
Okay.
That's
So
what I'm
so it's harder.
Come
so it's
on,
harder for the
Doc
opposition's.
Mesa.
It's harder for the opposition's fans, but it's not harder for the players. It's harder for the players at Citizens
You
Bank.
said home field advantage.
No. You said we're talking home field
Yeah.
advantage. It's
Yeah.
all combined.
No,
Yeah.
so no, it's not.
Don't talk your way out
no
of this.
player on the field cares about
Don't
how
talk
their
your way out of
fans
this.
feel in an opposing stadium. I don't
Listen,
care if a
I'm
fans
about to win
upset.
2 call-ins in 2 weeks.
Congratulations.
Yeah, I'll put a scoreboard up.
You want a Dewey beer?
Yeah, sure.
Well, here's the
Enjoy.
thing. How many home games are there for the Phillies?
81.
Yeah. How many for the Eagles?
Yeah.
So you concentrate that energy.
Well, it's less this year
Yes,
because
we
we
have
have to play in
Brazil.
Brazil.
Yeah, because we're playing in Brazil. So stupid.
Stupid.
Playing the Browns in Brazil.
We don't know that.
I'm sure Sean Watson's going to get a great massage. Do they have extradition? Do they have extradition in Brazil?
Jake,
Yeah.
you know who's
No.
behind him, don't you? Jameis
Oh,
Winston
Jameis
now.
Winston.
Yeah.
Oh, that's even better.
Dude.
Joe Flacco went to the Colts.
Look,
he's
hide-
following in Carson
Hide your
Wentz's footsteps.
masseuses and hide your stinking shellfish.
Oof.
You've got a dynamic duo over there.
He's got a heyday.
Is that what they call it now?
I
I
guess.
thought it was a handy.
Andy.
Well, Doc, thank you so much for your time. Thanks for
Oh,
coming.
no
on.
problem. No problem. Enjoy your birthday.
Thank
Talk
you.
soon.
DelawareFood.com,
Thanks,
302-655-9494. Be sure to leave a 5-star review on Google when they give you excellent care. Doc, really appreciate it.
Thank you. Take care. Be safe.
Always.
Linc. It's the Linc. It's the Linc. Anybody else?
It's really not.
Call in.
It's really.
Call in. Unless you want,
Look,
unless
call
you
in
go to the
line.
bank.
Yeah, we got a few more minutes. Call in. Call in lines open. Love to have your thoughts. We'll throw you on here at Billy Pistol's Beach Parlor.
Yeah.
Oh, parlor?
Different
Oh,
location.
yeah. Billy Pistol's
Breakfast Nook.
Breakfast.
Is that
Nook.
what
I
we're
still
calling
say
this?
it's the extra wide variable when it comes to playoff time and win.
That's what they called me in high school, the extra wide variable.
Extra wide variable.
Who's
What-
the constant?
What a nickname.
Exactly.
Didn't help you grow.
No, well, not night.
Hey.
Hey, there we go. Just saying hi to all you lovely, lovely folks out there. And why not you say hi to me? Let me say happy birthday. No, I'm just fucking-
Yeah, someone call in and tell this guy happy birthday.
No,
'cause I'm
oh my
tired of
gosh,
hearing
shut
it. It's been
up.
all day. Oh, you
Shut
look
up.
miserable, Jake. I'm having fun. I'm having a
You
fun
better,
day.
you better be. We're hitting
Come on.
golf balls shortly
Oh,
after
we
this.
are. We're gonna be degenerates.
Exactly. Well,
But until we
5
end
a.m. golf
that,
balls
give me a hot take.
for this Philly season.
Philly season.
Well, guys, it's all going to depend on hot or not. We talked about this before. When are they going to get hot?
Yeah.
Can they carry that?
Usually wait a
momentum
little too
in
long.
September. September is going to tell the tale like it always has been. If Nola stays healthy, health is a big thing.
Well, it's an even year Nola. Even year Nola is statistically incredible.
My take on it is they are going to make the postseason this year. And the only question I have is players' health and also the faith they have in Rob Thompson for the third year straight, making the run.
Also, dancing on my own. Retire it, kill it, or let it ride.
It's been played out. Let's get
It's
something
dead,
new in
yeah.
there. Let's get a new song. It's not 2022. Let's go in there with a new mindset.
Yeah.
with
And
guys we
and I
have.
think Coach said it great. Don't let your backup catcher DJ pick your song. Have it be
Yeah.
something organic. You're slumping, you play this song, you hit a grand slam walk off, and you're like, oh man, Let's play this song again. We want another one. Let's play it again.
At least go into a restaurant, like blackout drunk, and put your phone on Spotify, and you're like, oh, this is kind of a vibe right now.
No, I liked mine better.
Gentlemen, I've got a complaint. Stop having your batting music like you're going to some backyard barbecue.
Your walk-up song? Oh, that's a gross stop. Oh, stop. Living in a big blue world.
Some Chase Utley, was it?
Are we trying to get some Slipknot in the mix? Like, what are you looking for?
I want some serious. I'm gonna go up and smack the hell out of it.
Oh yeah, I mean, I wouldn't have that. That wouldn't be my walk-up song, but it's not.
Like country music, like Hunter Pence had a terrible song.
No, but people say
calm down with the country music. I'm a big country music guy.
All these athletes say though, like you don't want to get overhyped. Like you don't want something that gets you like you're not pushing that last rep on the rack. You're trying to get dead, locked in, focused. You're trying to shut out all outside noise. And if A-OK is what gets him locked in and says, ooh, like I'm good, heart rate goes down, everything is hyper focused. I don't care what he plays. I loved when the Nationals, and I hate the Nationals. When the Nationals guy played Baby Shark. I was like, whatever, it gets him out of the funk of all right. I'm playing Baby Shark. And I'm stepping up to the plate.
What was the other meme one? The Fox. What does the Fox say?
Oh yeah, that's stupid. That's stupid.
Who has the most underrated walk-up song on the Phillies? And I've got one in mind. I'll tell you who it is.
Hit me with it.
JT Real Muto.
JT Real Muto.
I agree with that.
That song is a wonderful song.
I love the guy. I love the song.
It's a city, very, very urban.
Yeah. Also, booms, just because it sounds like they're saying boom. Like, let's all agree. Like his boom, boom, boom. I'm like, you're just saying boom. Like,
yeah.
Okay, cool.
And it looks like it.
That's why you picked
also, but I mean, let's be honest here. The best song for Philadelphia walk-ups or walk-outs is got to be Mr. Rager for Ranger Suarez. Hey, Mr. Ranger, because it sounds like they're saying Mr. Ranger. If you didn't pick up on that,
honestly,
you didn't get that.
I don't care what
gets me
Bryce Harper's
Red
walk-up
Ranger is up there.
Whatever Bryce Harper picks this season, that's going to be my favorite.
I mean, he has a good song.
He does.
Yeah, every inning
whatever
changes.
He picks, that's it. That's our captain.
Also, Castellanos, he's a routine changer. He's a routine song
Spanish
changer.
Music. I don't even know what they're
Castellanos changes it a lot. He has, he's had Drop It Like It's Hot. He's a routine walk-up changer. And look, you'll find him go back, revert to old walk-up songs when he was a little bit hotter. And I found when he was struggling his first season with the Phillies, I was saying, like, don't give up on him. Obviously, he had a phenomenal year last year. I call it a phenomenal year. He's an all-star, deservedly so.
Well, now his son's going to be there to cheer him on, so he's all good with that.
Yeah, he's the mayor of Philadelphia. Why isn't Liam the mayor of Philadelphia, really?
Yeah, because he forgot to get the bat after watching his dad's home run. That's why.
The mayors of Philadelphia forget a lot of things.
Sure, yeah. I mean,
but look, it's about that time. I've got a brownie sundae with my name waiting to be demolished. Love to have any of your thoughts. Again, shout out Dewey Beer Co. Give him a follow if you're ever down here in the Delaware Beach area. Head on over to Dewey. Check out their restaurant. Delicious food, delicious brews. And if you're listening in Philly, New Jersey, anywhere in Northern Delaware, anywhere around, you can find their beer at your liquor store. So give
a lot of spots.
A delicious Mexican lager. Give it a shot. The Sun Camp.
Sun Camp a rip. It's
if you like more
light
hoppy,
IPA.
Light hoppy IPA. Give Sun Camp a shot. But you can find these at almost any of your local liquor stores, anywhere around. So definitely want to go check them out.
And just like the town it's in, Dewey Beer, Dewey way of life.
Exactly.
Dewey Beer is a way of life.
Easy peasy.
Outstanding beer.
Yeah. And shoot them a DM and say, partner up with Talking 2 and 5. Let's make it a thing. We would love nothing more. Tackle Up, White Glove, Delaware Orthopedic, Sussex Salts, all these different groups. We don't partner with anybody that we don't love their product or love their business. And so
we want to be doing business with the people that we enjoy their business.
Exactly.
And make sure to check us out. 2 big things. We have
March
the
28th, Green Turtle.
And then in the G Lot, come to the G Lot.
Yeah, we're going to be posting a big thing about when and where it's going to be. It's going to be in the G Lot, same spot as always. We're going to be getting there as soon as gates open. Free beer tailgate, and hopefully it'll be Dewey Beer. Hit them up. Tell them that they need to sponsor the tailgate. We need to have them there. All 547 of you. We love you, and all of the ones that aren't here, we kind of love you too. And that's it, right?
Yeah.
That's it. All right. See you.